feel, Dave, when you're here sitting just behind the French dugout, the World Cup final? It's like being at the centre of the universe. There's people in the jungle listening to this on a shortwave radio. Yeah. The Pope on his black and white telly, and we're right here.
Yes. No, it's always felt at every game that we'd be getting closer and closer to the very centre of the universe, and here we are finally at the epicentre of the universe. And that's it. You see where the World Cup is, about 100 yards away from us. That is the actual centre of the universe.
Oh, I'd say 40 yards maximum. Yeah. It feels a bit like
the heat coming off here, like from the core of the earth.
I remember feeling like this at the Comedy Awards when Buster Merrifield from Fools and Horses fell over and split his head open, and it was very near me, and I was quite excited.
I seem to remember I might have been nominated for Best Newcomer that year and lost out to Billy Pearce.
As we are at the centre of the universe, for this privilege, we'd like to thank the Times in association with Dodge Caliber.
Yes. I feel we've been driven to the centre of the universe by the Dodge Caliber.
Yes. And at half-time, I'll be reading the Times.
Listen to the unofficial voice of World Cup 2006, brought to you by Times Online and Avalon in association with the new Dodge Caliber.
Seats here. We're right behind the French dugout, and the World Cup is on display on a little table.
Yeah, the World Cup is being guarded by two enormous bodyguards.
I tell you what's great is that the table has got FIFA written on it, so that people will say, "Oh look, there's the the FIFA World Cup." It's a little aide de memoire.
It's actually on it twice. In fact, probably 3 times. I can't see the other side.
I think this might be the teams.
I've done a very typical thing for me, which is they had some raw fish in hospitality, and I had a piece of it, very nice. I thought, shall I have another piece? Sod it, I will. I now feel sick and like I might have to go to the toilet at any stage during the World Cup final. I feel this is very typical for me.
I'm glad you said that to a very dramatic musical background.
Of these two teams in the World Cup final is that they are basically the nations in Europe who are the shittest at war, apart from the Swiss who don't bother at all.
That hadn't occurred to me, but has that made them good at football then, do you think? Because the Germans are very good at football.
Yeah, and they're pretty good at war. And we used to be quite good at war, and now we're not really good at either.
Well, when the Germans were celebrating their third, fourth place playoff with such vigour last night, I thought to myself, is this what it was like in Germany at the end of World War II? Because they finished second.
I think it was very similar, only amongst more ruins.
Yeah. Listen, let's have a big party because we finished second. Maybe we could go in that building that isn't on fire.
Yeah. I don't know, Italy finished third, really, didn't they? So they were probably also celebrating. Japan didn't get any medals at all.
Now, if you can hear mental horns and that in the background, it's actually the Germans.
Yeah, strangely enough. We're actually recording this bit of the podcast the night before the World Cup final, and it's the night
after the third and fourth place playoffs, which has not been the kind of jokey event we expected it to be in Germany.
Well, I still think it's a jokey event, but the Germans as ever, have taken it very seriously.
They've taken it immensely seriously,
Yeah.
and at the end of the game, I thought, well, they look quite pleased about it. All that, they were going crazy.
Well, there was a display at the end of it of fireworks that looked to me like they'd just decided, well, let's do the closing ceremony now. Because Germany have won this match, and we're getting some medals, so let's pretend we've won the World Cup final.
It was a bit like that. They had their own ending to
Yeah.
it, and then tomorrow's World Cup final will be just like an annex.
Yeah, well, I can't even remember in 1990 whether we won it or not, the third and fourth place playoff.
I didn't even watch it. I was still so dispirited by the semi-final.
It was England versus Italy, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, because Argentina played Italy in the semi-final.
Can't remember.
But if we won it, I do not remember horns like this blasting up and down the country.
No.
People are shouting, yes, we came third, we came third.
I don't think we did win it, did we?
No, I think we didn't win it. The only thing I remember about the 1990 third and fourth place playoff was that we played Neil Webb instead of Gaza. And I've always thought that shows we didn't care about it. Obviously, we didn't play our star player, the star player of the tournament virtually. We didn't care. And then just tonight, Frank said to me, well, he was suspended, wasn't he? Obviously, he got a yellow card. Don't you remember? He cried. That meant he couldn't play if we were in the final. It never occurred to me for 16 years.
Oh, incredible.
That meant he couldn't play the third and fourth place playoff. But that's because I never thought it was a proper match. I never thought suspensions would carry on into it.
Yeah, but that, a similar thing happened to me with Maureen Lipman. When Maureen Lipman used to play BT
Yes.
in the BT adverts,
Yes.
I never realised that her name BT was a pun on BT.
You didn't?
For about 3 years.
That's
and I was watching it
ridiculous.
one night and I went, hey, hold on a minute. And I said to whoever I was with, I said, have you ever noticed that her name is a... And they said, yes, of course. And
Oh, you must have felt a complete fool.
I felt like a right nana. The fireworks thing that day, when West Brom celebrated having played at the Hawthorns for 100 years, they had a big firework display before the kick-off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was an afternoon game. You couldn't
No,
see.
you're joking.
You couldn't see a thing.
Really?
It's rubbish.
Did they schedule it at the wrong time of the year? Did they think it was going to get dark
probably.
earlier?
I think probably the Red Arrows blew them out at the
Oh.
last minute. But we all stood there, and you could hear noises.
There was a fireworks display in the middle of the afternoon.
Yes.
That's what's wrong with your club.
They should have got those
It's the
indoor
attention to
fireworks.
detail.
You know, those ones that's like it's a smeg.
You could all have
blowing about.
held little indoor fireworks. That would be much better.
But we had an email about the Germans, and apparently after the last World Cup, they referred to themselves as the vice champions.
Oh, yeah, I
because
read
they
that.
finished second.
Yeah, yeah.
So they obviously...
Of course, Italy are the vice champions because they're the ones who've got a scandal at home. You see what I've done there?
Oh,
it's very clever.
It is.
No, but that's ridiculous. I read in that email. I can't remember who sent it, but it was a very good email because they said, "What does that mean that they're the vice champions? Does that mean that when Brazil couldn't turn up for an engagement in the last 4 years, Germany would fill in?"
That's good, I think.
Yeah.
Shut up!
It's third place. It's nothing.
A Mexican wave goes round the Olympic Stadium. I wish they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, although it's an impressive stadium to see it in.
I bet it's not the first time they've seen raised arms in this stadium. Here it comes. Get ready.
In the old days when they had done the raised arm in this stadium, they'd gone way at the same time.
That would have meant Nazis were a lot more lovable, do you think? Placido Domingo has just sung a song especially commissioned, apparently.
Yeah, especially written by his son, didn't they say?
Is that what it said?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It was a total rip-off of this Dorm. I mean, it was just it.
Yeah.
I thought, and this could be, but I thought I heard the word FIFA in there.
The word what?
FIFA. Oh, lovely FIFA.
I think it was actually called Lesson Norma.
Bobby Charlton and his wife Norma. I'm sure he's saying something about FIFA doing a great job.
The official partner.
They've done a great job in the FIFA World Cup TM.
Let's say what is a fire.
Oh, Toshiba and Avaya and T-Mobile and Coca-Cola.
They probably roundabout for where they come in the song.
Yeah.
Adidas obviously ends the song.
Adidas! Adidas! So all the big TV screens have gone down in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, which is a bit of a very similar to what happened just before Lady Diana's car crash. Actually, I hope someone's not planning a hit on Sepp Blatter. It might be a good time to do something very, very controversial, though.
Well, I think there might be some other cameras on this ground at the moment. Do you think television coverage has gone down?
I really hope so, because we are here, and then we'll really be at the centre of the universe because no one else will be able to see.
Yeah. We'll get a podcast audience of 64 billion because no one has seen it.
That would make this day perfect if the TV cameras broke down. We'd be able to tell people about this game the rest of our life.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And also I might run on and try and score because who's going to see?
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to nick the World Cup.
So I'm very pleased to say that due to popular demand, this being the last of the Baddiel and Skinner World Cup podcasts, one of our favourite singers has returned to talk about the World Cup, and that is Louis Armstrong. Louis, I wonder how you feel that the 2006 FIFA World Cup will go down in football history in the league table of great World Cups.
It's been a crazy past, and Munich is a Italy, to back and bow to the official partners.
Louis Armstrong, thank you very much.
Oh, it's a red card! Oh my God, he sends Easy off! Is this bloke going to basically send off all my favourite players in this competition? No, it's his last match, you stupid twat!
You know what happened though?
There it goes, one of the greatest players ever seen in the game. Sent off in the World Cup final.
Oh dear.
Do you think Zidane's sitting in the dressing room now and the ghost of Napoleon is saying, same thing happened to me, it's going well, I got exiled?
Actually, one photograph I would like to see is him in the dressing room at the moment, smoking. You know he's a smoker. I'd really like to see him having the cigarette at the moment, make a great black and white photograph.
Well, he's retired, he might as well have a cigarette. I hope he's smoking a pipe.
Actually, he's an Arab, isn't he? So he'll be smoking one of those great big hookahs.
Yeah, shisha pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he's retired, I imagine when they go in the dressing room, we'll have a nice fire going, red setter on the hearthrug.
Oh, I don't know. I think it'll be, as I say, it'll be kind of Moroccan. I imagine curly slippers.
Yeah, Adidas curly slippers on.
Although we're both pissed off, I have to say we've taken it better than Rooney's sending off.
Yeah.
I don't remember us joking this early on after Rooney's sending off.
That's true. I mean, I have massive admiration and love for Zidane, but he's not English.
Yeah. The atmosphere's got so charged since he went off that if the Italians win now, I think we might see the very unlikely spectre of French hooliganism. Now, I don't quite know what that's like. I imagine it's a very refined form of hooliganism.
Yeah.
Possibly they stop to have, like, you know, tea and
A Galois.
Galois halfway through. Yeah, smashing up some Italian cars. But they seem about as cross as I've ever seen French people.
They even boo in a French accent. There's a bloke behind me going, boo, boo. Because we're saying this, we might watch the replay and see that Zidane did something terrible.
So we're going home tomorrow. Will you miss Germany, Frank?
Doing the podcast has been great, but driven me slightly mental.
Yeah, well, I've noticed that.
I walk past. There's a big theatre. We're in Berlin at what's the name of this hotel?
Savoy. The Savoy.
The Savoy. Yes, the Savoy. And I went out for a walk tonight to buy a present for my girlfriend, and I passed this theatre, and it said Aida Das Musical. And when I first saw it, I thought it said Adidas Musical.
Yeah, well, I'd love
That's
to see
how
that,
mad
though.
I've got.
I'd love to see that. A musical about each of the official partners in turn.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Well,
Toshiba, the musical.
I'm sure FIFA would be behind that all the way.
Sepp Blatter, the musical.
That'd actually be all right. But he could have his amateur career in Switzerland,
and then the tragedy of the concrete in his buttocks.
Of course, Elton John co-wrote Aida the musical.
Yes, he did.
So one hopes in some of them there's a reference to Sven Göran Abba-Dabba.
But that sounds quite like Aida das Musical.
What?
Sven Göran Abba-Dabba. It's Abba-Dabba the musical. It's in fact what you saw.
Oh, yeah.
When you were walking along.
I'm very confused now.
I think I'll miss quite a lot is the hotel porn, I have to say. Now, I don't wish to confirm people's expectations and stereotypes of me.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
But I don't know if people know that in Germany, every hotel you stay at has got 3 or 4 hardcore pornographic channels.
People who listen to this podcast now because you never shut up about it. And today, when we checked out of the hotel, you were nearly in tears.
Well, I wasn't in tears about losing that. What I was upset about was that I changed rooms at the lot because
we were leaving Munich.
We were leaving Munich, and at the hotel we were in Munich, because of the semi-final, was very booked up. So we were in very, very small rooms to begin with, and they offered me a larger room, which I took. But I had already pressed the button for hotel porn, which runs from noon till noon, when at about 1:30 they said you could have another room.
Oh,
so
goodness.
I thought, what a dilemma for me. So I thought, well, it's all right, I'll go to the other room, I'll put it on there, I won't be charged twice for it. I was charged twice for it, Frank.
No.
Yes. Now, what are you to say to the nice girl on reception at that point? You could say, I was watching that film on Premiere 1 and I wanted to see the end of it, but she's not going to believe that, is she?
I think the best form of defence is attack. I think you should begin with, now look here.
If you run an all-day porn channel...
It's not my bloody fault you're out the World Cup.
Yeah.
Why should I pay twice for the same porn film? One thing I definitely won't miss about Germany... Have you noticed that Germans walk right into you?
Yeah.
It's like I'm wearing my Harry Potter cloak of invisibility. You go out and they just walk straight. And not just big muscular Germans, little old Germans and all sorts.
You have to say that's what they did to Europe, though, many years ago. Just
walk
straight through it, yeah. Without worrying that other people were there.
So when they invaded those countries, they basically just walked straight in and walked into people.
Carried on walking, yeah, until they got to the channel, basically.
It's a strange... Have you noticed that, Rochi? Bloody ill-mannered they are. But we've... I
missed the Dodge Caliber as well.
Oh, obviously. God. Well, yes. But it's gone to a good home.
That's true. Yeah.
We've met some brilliant people out here as well, but the one that sticks in my memory is when we was in Munich. We met 2 salesmen from Hungary who are over here, whose country's not in the World Cup for a start-off. Who was saying, and when we wanted to come here, we could not get hotel room. Yes, World Cup, mate. And the great thing about it, we tried to make conversation with them. I think they'd be dull to other Hungarians.
Yeah.
But he started talking. He didn't live in Budapest. You said, do you live in Budapest, the only place we knew? And he said, oh, no, Budapest, it's a nightmare. He said, they have a rush hour in the morning, terrible. And then again in the afternoon. Well, they've got to get home, mate.
That's very true. Yeah. No, we've met some people. I'll tell you what I'll be looking forward to at getting back is washing my clothes. Because it's always a dilemma when you go away for a long time, is what you're going to do with your clothes. And I've generally just chosen to wear them smelly. That's really how I've dealt with it. Because of the hotel laundry fees. Yeah. I mean, last time we were in Berlin, we were at a bigger, nicer hotel. The laundry fees were about €10 per pair of underpants. I took one look at it. I decided to wash my pants in the bath, which I think hasn't been done since medieval days in Germany.
People don't know this about celebrities, that they have to do things like... Most celebrities...
I don't think they do it, most of them, to be honest.
But Dave saw that price list and it was a no-go area.
To be honest, I could have afforded it. But I just thought, I'm not paying €80 to wash my pants. So I just put them all in the bath with some shampoo. They took about 3 days to dry, I noticed. And actually one of them actually wore slightly damp, because I didn't have any choice.
I'll tell you what...
I don't know what the maid thought. I thought, what is he doing? He seems to have just thrown wet pants all over the room.
Well, I bought pants for €1 a pair. Me and Rochi went out pants searching, and you can get them clean for €4, or you can buy new ones for €1. I mean, hey, it's no contest.
But you went to an under €1 shop, didn't you?
Yeah, but I still paid €1 for the pants.
Right.
But, I mean, €1 for a pair. That's like 60p for a pair of pants.
Yeah.
And the great thing was, we asked for a bag, and he said, "Oh no bags."
Could you have paid €1 for a bag?
No, I don't think. Maybe you could have done. But it was such a cheap shop, they didn't bother with bags to save on the over. And we had to carry these like nylon pants.
I didn't even see this, but it's my abiding image of the World Cup is you coming out of that shop arm filled with pants.
Well, me and Rochi were both pant laden.
I must just tell you one other sort of laundry-based story, which is that the other day in Munich, I went to the spa for a sauna. And there's a naked area in the sauna where I sat for quite a long time hoping that a young woman would join me, and no one did.
Was it mixed?
Yeah, mixed sauna, yeah. I sat there perhaps for 5 or 6 hours.
Right.
I lost a lot of water.
What you should have done is put all your dirty clothes on and gone in there.
That would have been sensible. But anyway, when I came back again, down to my room, I didn't change back into my clothes. I just carried my clothes down, and I was wearing the hotel gown. And when I got to my room, of course, my key didn't work. So I was in the hotel corridor, and I thought, I can't go all the way back to the spa now. It's quite embarrassing me having been there so long anyway. So I stood there for about a minute, and I thought, right, I'm just going to change in the corridor.
No.
Yes. So I basically hitched up my dressing gown and put my pants on in the corridor. Of course, at that point, a member of hotel staff appears in the corridor.
No.
Yeah, and just looked at me, just stared at me, and I'm putting my pants on over my genitals. So I just carried on changing while he stared at me.
And he didn't say anything?
Well, he just stared at me, and then eventually I said, I can't get into my room. And he let
What,
me in.
Did he think you would plan to live in the corridor for the rest of the stay?
That must be what he thought. I can't get in, so I'm living here. Is that all right?
Could you bring me a mattress?
Could you bring me a bath to wash my pants in?
Yeah, and a pillow so I could lie outside the room. Yeah. How very odd.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have liked that.
So, I've just had a text message from my mate Evo from Wolverhampton.
In the Wolverhampton Magic Circle.
Yeah, saying that apparently Zidane headbutted Materazzi's chest, because Materazzi is about 6'8". That's probably all he could reach.
Yeah,
I don't know if headbutting someone's chest, though, should be a sending off offence. What are you going to do, stop their heart?
Yeah, well, that's clear. Obviously, he went down. He must have gone down much too much.
But I think headbutting someone's head is that's a proper headbutt.
Yeah.
I mean, is a headbutt named after your head or their head?
Well, that's the question. Is it a chest butt or a head butt?
Yeah. He usually is head to head, so you never have to decide that.
I'd call it a chesty head butt.
Well,
And is that a red card offence? I bet it's not in the rule.
I think it's an American porn star, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chesty headbutt. Oh, I've seen a lot of her films.
I paid to see her this trip. I'll tell you. Now, we're sort of looking back on the whole trip in this podcast, and very early on, you had a strange encounter, Frank, didn't you, in the lift?
Yes, I've never told Rochi about this, actually. But what happened is, where was it? Can you remember? Was it Dusseldorf?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it was Dusseldorf.
I was in the lift, and I had to. Me and you were doing some writing or something. I had to go up to your room, and go back to mine, and then go back to yours. And there was a woman in the lift who was, I suppose she was late 40s. I'll tell you who she looked like. You know Raquel from Coronation Street?
Vaguely.
You know her? She looked just like her. And, you know, some German woman. And she said something to me, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know, I didn't know what she was on about. And she said, oh, English. And she said, I had a meeting here at 10 o'clock, and the man wasn't there. And I said, no. And then she said to me, what are you doing now? I said, no, I'm going to bed now. And she said, would you like some fun before you go to sleep?
Fun.
Well, I thought, you know, has she got an Etch-a-Sketch? And I said, well, obviously I did pick up on it there. But she didn't look she looked very, like, respectable. She looked like the sort of woman you see who's, like, at a wedding, at a hotel or something. I'd say not young.
Did she have a price range, like the laundry list? Did she have, in fact, a laundry with her? Because I imagine it needs some cleaning.
Yeah, well, I had to give her a quick rinse in the bath.
Yeah.
No, so...
Do you think it says in the laundry list, underwear, linen, prostitute?
Well, she said to me, do you want some? And I said, no, well, no, I don't think so. And she sort of said, am I not nice?
That's quite a difficult thing.
Yeah. And I couldn't say we look a bit like Raquel from Coronation Street.
Well, she wouldn't have known who that was.
It wouldn't have been worth the bother. So I said, well, yes, you're very nice. Which wasn't true.
It's quite a long lift journey.
Well, now, by now,
floors?
I'd gone out the lift.
Oh, right.
And she was standing with her hands on, what is it called? To
her vagina.
No. Yes. And it was trapped between two floors with the doors wedged open. Well, you can imagine my surprise.
There was the Etch-a-Sketch.
I could hear the twang of the cable.
Yes.
But I said, she said, am I not nice? And I said, yes, you're very nice, which she wasn't. I said, but, and this is what I said. I said, I've got a girl back home.
That's fantastic.
And suddenly
I
was Tommy Atkins.
Yeah. I've
with
got
car
a girl back home.
I've got a girl back home.
I never
darling.
would. Did you sing? Did you sing?
It was in
My darling back in Blighty.
It was like a black and white movie, and I walked off to my room. And
that's an incredible story. But of course, it is quite a thing in Germany.
Well, we've avoided talking about it on the podcast, but the fact is it's totally legal in Germany, and it's been everywhere we've been has basically had a red light area.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we were on our way to, I think this was the Germany-Italy game, wasn't it? And
the semi-final.
The semi-final, yeah. We were on the way to that game, and littering the streets was a little postcard for WM Bordel. Now, I should explain, we may have said this before, but WM is what they call the World Cup here, Weltmeisterschaft. And this is a brothel that has styled itself as the World Cup brothel. I have the ticket still in my hand.
I'd have thought FIFA would have been down on like a ton of bricks.
Well, you say that, but there's actually a picture. Well, there's lots of women naked. There's what looks like an Olympic-sized swimming pool in this brothel.
Well, that's always good.
Which I think people must be. David Williams must be in it doing 50 legs.
Yes, you can take your socks.
Yeah, but there's also a picture of the World Cup, and what I particularly like is the smiling FIFA logo, the Germany 2006 logo behind the World Cup.
It's that thing about a time to make friends.
Exactly.
It's a WM Bordel.
Do you think WM Bordel sex €20, by by the way?
So €20?
Yeah, that seems very cheap to me.
God, that's 5 pairs of socks cleaned.
Yeah, but I can't believe they're one of the official partners. Perhaps this is what Avaya is.
They're certainly not. They're very much the unofficial partners for most of the men who go there, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, Rochi, you told us about if you need if one needs a prostitute in a hotel.
What did you say?
It's customary that you ask the concierge for an extra pillow.
You know, but what confuses me about that is if you need an extra pillow, do you have to say, I'd like a prostitute, please?
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Well, that's very confusing for the concierge.
Or have you got a prostitute case?
Yeah, I'd like my prostitute cleaned. I'd like my prostitute plumped up.
Yeah. Have you got a dock prostitute? Well, I've never heard of that before, but it's interesting. Me and Rochi went for a walk in, was it Dusseldorf?
No, it's Nuremberg.
Nuremberg.
No, Nuremberg must be an interesting place for prostitutes.
Well, I'd never been to a proper red light area before.
Is it called the Nuremberg Fannies?
I believe it was called that. Now you come. I'll tell you what it is called. It was in Frauleinstrasse, I think it was, which shows how long that's been a red light area. That actually the street is named after like, the fact that women are down there. But we walked down there. It was interesting because when you first go into the street, obviously there was a few drunken England fans. I don't know if any of them was actually going to the women. They just wanted to have a look. And the first ones we saw were very attractive, beautiful young women. And this England fan said, "Well, you see when you get down to the end of the road." And the further you went down the road, the rougher they got. And by the time you got to the end, there was women. Rochi, how old are they?
Oh, they must have been late 50s, early 60s.
Did it really?
Yeah.
And I mean, rough old women.
Frauleinstrasse became Alta Frauleinstrasse.
Yes, exactly. It was Das Boot at the other end.
Well, what?
No, that was... the thing is, the next day, you said to me... I was reading the paper about the wags, and apparently Posh Spice insists on getting on the coach last. And I thought, she wouldn't if she'd been down the red. And the best thing was, you remember, some of them they all sit in windows, and they have a little thing next where they're from. So there's like Italy, Croatia.
Really? It's really like the World Cup.
They could have put together a brilliant World Cup wall chart.
Fantastic, a group stages and everything.
And the ones have to move out when they get knocked out.
Well, one place that there is a very small red light area is Dusseldorf. And Kraftwerk, who we talked about some podcasts ago, actually rehearse in the red light area, and we interviewed Bianca, our driver, on the subject of prostitution in Germany there, didn't we? We're here with Bianca, who shouldn't really be here, a lovely woman like you. What do you want to ask her?
In Germany, is it true that you call the brothels puff houses?
Yes, we say puff or bordel.
Right.
And the Americans, I have an American client, and he always say puff house.
What, like that? He goes, puff house? Is he exploding?
Yeah, I mean, he's from the Bronx, and he always say puff house, puff house, puff house.
You see, in England, we'd think that was a gay thing,
Yeah.
a puff house.
Yeah, it isn't in Germany.
No.
My client from Berlin, he's going often to Cologne, then the owner of a puff house picks him up with the huge Hummer car, the Hammer or Hummer car, however you say, however you name it, and then he has to play in the puff house.
Who has to play in the puff house?
The client has to play there.
I thought you meant the driver had to play in the puff house as well.
I play in the puff. I go in my humour car, which is one of those that explodes and the doors fly off.
I have a whole squad that might play in the puff house. Yeah, I'm thinking about picking Rooney.
Well,
I'm not sure he's quite fit for it.
And then he told me also some prostitutes wants to give him a private show in the back room. And they have
when
done.
you say
he got
wants
private
to,
show.
what you mean is that he's paying them to do that. I don't know if they would, out of the goodness of their heart, offer.
He has not. Yeah, they did offer it.
What, free?
Yeah, for free, of course.
Well,
They did like him.
Blimey.
It's a young, black, fat man. It's a hip hopper. It's a rapper, and he's a very lovely guy, and everybody likes him. He's in the beginning of the 30s, and everybody likes him.
He's in the beginning of the 30s. Is it Cam Calloway?
That's Waller.
Maybe we should meet him if we are in Berlin.
Yeah.
Maybe he will be back then from New York, and we should meet him.
Well, he sounds great. Well, thank you for your guide to the puff houses of Dusseldorf.
Perhaps we can have a guide to the puff houses of Berlin. We're in Berlin. Because I imagine there's quite a lot of puff houses in there.
We have another interesting place. We have the Kit Kat Club.
Yeah, I've heard of that. You've heard of that.
I might go in there for a break.
So the World Cup final has just ended, and they're already advertising the next one in South Africa. We're watching a film on the big screens of South African team.
There's the 2010 mascot appeared. I can't believe Coglio's already been put out as a stud. That's terrible.
I can't see him being put out to stud with no genitals.
You wouldn't be very good at it.
I believe any minute now there's a message from Nelson Mandela coming up, which is always a stirring moment.
Think about Nelson Mandela. That's probably how they got the bid. Here we go. It's a big picture of Nelson Mandela shot against the sky and some mountains. And in Bruce Almighty, Morgan Freeman plays God. And it's virtually exactly the same look.
Also, when he says we welcome you to the 2010 World Cup, he's being a little bit optimistic in the use of the word we. This is the awards for the referees. This gives us a chance, of course, to boo him again for sending off Rooney.
So it's a very exciting moment now because we have come to the climax of our competition.
Well, that's brilliant. Apparently we've had about 720,000 entries.
Have we really?
We have, well, between us we have,
Yeah.
yeah. But let's not talk about our sordid past.
But round
And
about...
can I say the quality of entrance has been absolutely excellent.
Marvellous. About 25 at the last count got it absolutely right.
I didn't think anyone would get all 15. Well done.
So well done, all of you who entered, in fact, and all of you particularly got it right. But we've had to pick one of you.
What we did, we put the bits in an East German soldier's hat that the
Bianca had in
gave
her
us.
cellar, incredibly.
I mean, there was an East German soldier in it.
He was still there. He was in a coma, obviously. Okay, Roach, you're the radio producer type of guy. Can you get the competition winner on the line now?
He's from London. He works for a charity in London.
Hello?
Hello, is that Mark Wibberley?
It is.
This is David Baddiel speaking.
Hi, David.
This is very exciting, isn't it, Mark?
I'm very excited.
That's Frank Skinner speaking,
Yes,
by the way.
This is Frank Skinner. I should say, no, Roachy is on £16,000. He's done very well, but he needs your help. No, it's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We've got some rather fabulous news for you, Mark.
Okay.
You've won... What's it called?
The Dodge Caliber.
The Dodge Caliber, yeah.
What about that, Mark?
Well, I'm kind of speechless.
Yeah, you sound absolutely thrilled.
Well,
can you be a bit more excited,
I don't know.
Mark?
I mean, I don't know what to say. I didn't expect this to happen, so I'm a bit sort of
Okay,
gobsmacked.
Did you have any help finding out what the mystery voices were? Did you just know
I'll
them?
tell you what it was. I mean, I kind of guessed most of the obvious ones. The others, I remembered from the fantasy football days.
When you say remember, did you buy the videos and the DVDs and just
I'm
check
looking
them?
at quite a few of them now. No, I do actually. I've got a photographic memory when it comes to football, so...
Oh, well, that's good.
really?
Well, you're the perfect bloke to win our competition, then, I would say.
I would say so.
Not many people have won a mystery voice competition with a photographic memory, I have to say.
It's a tape
a
recorder
photographic
memory
ear,
is what it is, isn't it, Mark?
But well done, Mark. It's a lovely
you?
car. Who's your team, Mark?
Unfortunately, Manchester United.
Oh, well, that's all right. You haven't got much of a team left now, have you?
Well, when Ronaldo goes and Van Nistelrooy goes, we can play, Kieran Richardson and Rossi next year and get into the UEFA Cup.
Well, that's a lovely thought, isn't
Well,
it?
God, you'll get no sympathy out of me. I
Well, of
dream
course
of the
not, no.
UEFA Cup.
So the Dodge Caliber, as I think we said this morning, is where is it?
It's impounded in Berlin.
Yeah, it's in Berlin.
No, it isn't.
So if you can get yourself over here somehow and get it, we should.
No, we'll deliver it. I presume we'll deliver it to Mark's door.
Yeah,
and
we'll deliver it to New
It's lovely. It's burnt orange.
Wonderful.
Because we set light to it.
No, and it's 4 doors and leather upholstery. Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah.
And we haven't.
Well,
we've
it's
driven
a
it very
car,
carefully.
So of course I will, yeah.
You can
It's a free
drive.
car.
You can drive, can't you, Mark?
I can, yeah.
Have you got a car at the moment?
I have, but I won't have soon.
That's it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it and get the
I'm
Dodge
going to get
Caliber.
rid of the crap old one and buy the new one. We'll have the new
No,
one.
no, buy it. It's
Well,
not
of
a
course.
competition to buy the Dodge Caliber. That would be silly.
It's yours. It's your. Anyway, well done, Mark.
Yeah, well done. And
And,
thanks very much for entering the competition.
Oh,
and
absolute
all
pleasure.
that.
Cheers for the podcast. It's
and
wonderful.
oh, thank you. And drive carefully.
Yes,
Okay.
whatever you do.
And good luck to No, I can't say that.
No.
Okay, bye, Mark.
Cheers.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
One thing about it, they're a proper football team, aren't they?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Ever since I was a kid, watching the World Cup, it's always been Italy.
Yeah.
It's like a proper, traditional... I think they won, but they won in 34, in 38.
Yes, 1982, under the shadow of a similar football scandal. So they're a proper footballing nation with proper football scandal at their heart.
And it's been a great World Cup, hasn't it, Dave? We've been out here for 4.5 weeks. We've seen loads of games. And the only thing that's really spoilt it is England.
Stay out. Finally, stay out for the champions makes some sense. And Cannavaro signed by Chelsea this morning. It's the World Cup! Oh! Perhaps we should say goodbye at this stage to the Baddiel Skinner World Cup podcast. I think this may be the moment. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you all for sending emails and stuff, and it's been fantastic. We've had a great 2 mates at the World Cup for 4.5 weeks. It's been brilliant. Okay, England were shit, but hey, so what?
Listen to the unofficial voice of World Cup 2006, brought to you by Times Online and Avalon in association with the new Dodge Caliber.